Let's get to Manchester United now, and Erik Ten Hag will be sitting a little bit more comfortably, won't you, today, after receiving backing from the club's hierarchy. United have lost 2 of their opening 3 league games, including a disappointing 3-0 defeat to their great rivals Liverpool at the weekend. Let's go there now live. We were with Dan Ashworth and Omar Barada when they gave Ten Hag their full backing. What was said? Yes, we spent an hour with Omar Barada and Dan Ashworth on Sunday in the hours ahead of kickoff against Liverpool in the East End boardroom, and they just gave us an overview of their time at the club so far, but in particular the focus on Erik Ten Hag. Now, it was very intriguing to me that Ashworth, who is the sporting director, Barada the club CEO, so the 2 most senior and powerful football administrators at the club, they had no input into the season review that kept Ten Hag in the job because it preceded their appointment. So it was Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the co-owner, and Sir Dave Brailsford, who went through that process, interviewed a series of managers around Europe, and decided to stick with Ten Hag. Now, while they weren't involved in the decision, the pair said that they were very happy with it because they believe Ten Hag is a good manager. What he was lacking was greater knowledge and expertise and daily support around him, which he will now get in this new Ineos-empowered football operation structure. They stressed that they have a very good working relationship with him. They enjoyed being on tour with Ten Hag in navigating a transfer window where they really addressed all their key positions that they had targeted, and that they believe the best is still yet to come under this manager and with this team. Okay, he has received a lot of backing, hasn't he, in particular in the transfer market? So with so much change at the club, should a little bit of settling in be expected, you think? Certainly, I can understand the frustrations from fans and analysts who are looking at Manchester United and thinking they've still got the same problems as last season, especially in their structure out of possession. When that first press gets beaten, they are so easy to play against because you've got a midfield that's isolated, which is Casemiro on Sunday, the gaps between midfield and the centre-backs are too huge. The centre-backs not aggressive enough when the ball is lost. And then you've got huge gaps as well between the centre-backs and the full-backs who stay so high and wide, and Liverpool exploited that perfectly, but other opponents are also encouraged to target United in those areas. However, the football operation structure, they're staying pretty calm because they know it's still early days for Ten Hag working within this new structure with that expertise around him, like I've mentioned, but also the fact that he's bidding in new signings, and the only one of which went on the US pre-season tour was Lenny Euro, and he picked up a serious injury 33 minutes into the first game, so Joshua Zirkzee, Masraoui, delete. Ugarte, who's only just walked through the door, they still need time to acclimatize, so they're looking at it and thinking, well, we weren't going to see a massive change in playing style because the players still need this adjustment period and to acclimatize. Not just to their new surroundings and to their teammates, but to those demands that Ten Hag wants now, while Dan Ashworth and will be analysing Ten Hag based on the summer moving forward because he's now finally working under this new structure. The reason why there's so much pressure already is because everyone else has the memories of last season fresh in their minds. The fact that United posted their lowest finish in the Premier League. They were dumped out of the Champions League in the group stage. They did finish the campaign strongly by winning the FA Cup, which ultimately kept Ten Hag in the job. But then that season review and how long it lasted, and the fact that United engaged so many coaches. Jamie Carragher made a good point. You don't talk to other managers so openly if you're happy with who you've got currently, and that's why we're in a position where we're 3 games into the new season and it already feels like there is so much noise around Ten Hag's job security. Yeah, absolutely right there. Always is just finally Nolan, so got some insights into how the club's recruitment works. What can you tell us about that? Yeah, Manchester United underwent 32 transactions this summer now. For full insight into all of those and how recruitment will work moving forward under this Ineos-powered leadership, you can go to the 1 Hour Sports website where you can see all Ashworth and Barada's details word for word on that. But just to give you a few highlights, Manchester United finally are working in a very sustainable fashion. They're not pivoting from their valuations on key targets. They're also managing their incomings and outgoings very closely, so they're staying within PSR brackets. They're also, in terms of selling, looking to maybe put down their valuations in pieces, but also add in buyback clauses and sell-ons, which mean not only are they getting the short-term effect of allowing a player to leave, which they've been very bad at doing in the past, but they're banking a good fee, and they're also getting future benefits from that with those clauses. And that is now a new process that they're going to work with moving forward, so it's going to be the norm. It hasn't been for ages. United have held on to players that they should have released because They weren't getting as much money for them, or they weren't cute enough in negotiating, and Ashworth's come in, and immediately we've seen a big difference in what they've done then. In terms of the incomings, I think it's been very significant that they've not signed a player over the age of 26, so again, they're looking long-term. If you look at all the players they've brought in, physically quite imposing, so they are trying to create a more robust squad. They've also changed the dynamic with some of the profiles they brought in, which they believe will allow Erik Ten Hag to properly implement his system. But the manager already under pressure to show that he can do it, and that has to happen a lot quicker than it has already. Yeah, I would agree with that. Thank you very much, Nolan.